Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ruxin Sports, where we have been consistently posting an NFL video every week. And I know I am a day late. I normally post these on Wednesday, but the whole NBA win totals thing took me a long time on Tuesday. If you guys haven't checked that video out and you're an NBA fan, definitely go check it out because honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about my picks after only, one game for most of the teams. But all the teams we were picking for under lost. All the teams we were picking for over won. Sometimes there was 2 losers versus 2 winners, so it was kind of a split. But I felt pretty good about our picks so far. I'm very excited about NBA. If you want to see a weekly check-in or bi-weekly check-in on NBA, maybe compared to our win totals, see how the teams are doing. We can talk about, your favorite team. Let me know your favorite team in the comments, and we can see how they're doing. So let me know if you want to see that in the future. Let's get into the NFL, which is... I honestly, it was kind of a weird week. So I've said that every week. We're kind of almost 500. We're a little bit above 500 for the season. So I'm feeling okay about that. I want to keep that, at 60%. I mean, I don't know if that's percentile. I think that's percentile that we're in. So we missed week 1. So we'd be a little better if we had done the week 1 picks. But let's see what we can get from these reviews here. So first game was Thursday. It was Steelers-Bengals. And I ended up picking the Bengals just because that was a lot of points on the road for the Steelers, and I'm not sure that the Steelers are an amazing team. I mean, they're good. Aaron Rodgers has been better than expected. He's been pretty good. They scored a lot of points. It wasn't the offense's fault. The defense, honestly, might be the problem. The defense was so good last year. I'm not sure how good the defense is this year, to be honest, because 33 points of the Bengals. I know Joe Flacco is much better than, what's his name? Browning. I was about to call him Headley. Wasn't there a guy named Headley at some point on the Bengals? I don't know. Let me know. No, that might have been a baseball player. Who knows? But Browning was horrible. They put in Joe Flacco. It looks like they just picked up Peyton Manning all of a sudden. Played awesome. It was great to see that for, if you're a Jamar Chase fantasy owner, a T. Higgins fantasy owner, even a Chase Brown, he did okay. That was a big change having Joe Flacco. So not much else to say about that, but we did nail that pick, having them plus 5.5. They even won the game, which was pretty surprising. Unfortunate because I do have Pittsburgh winning the division. Rams versus Jags. Yeah, I'm so glad I finally got a Jags game right. I'm always getting the Jags wrong because for some reason they're winning games at the beginning of the year. I kept picking against them. Then 2 weeks ago, I decided, all right, I bought into the Jags at home. And then they, of course, lose. So I'm back against the Jags and they got absolutely destroyed. They looked awful. They looked like the team I thought they were all season. It's a London game, so it's like hard to really judge, but they basically play in London every year, like multiple times. So if anybody should be used to it, it's the Jags, but it's the Jags. So they're terrible. Next up, Saints and Bears. I hate picking a terrible Saints team, but honestly, they were down 20-0. They cut it to 20-14. They had multiple chances to not only win the game, but definitely to cover. And somehow or another, they just didn't score again. Olave actually had a good game for the first time in his career. Very frustrating fantasy player if you've ever drafted him before. I had him in Dynasty. I drafted him in Dynasty 2 years ago. So I've had him just on my bench forever because I never want to play him. He had a great game. So that was good to see for the future. It felt like they should have covered this game. They were in this game. The Bears dominated early, though, so you could be like, well, they were killing them, and they kind of let off the gas. So I hate picking that team. And speaking of teams I hate picking, the Tennessee Titans. I was going with the stat of new coach or like interim coach or whatever. Teams covered 10-4. They always cover. And early on in the game, it looked like the Titans were going to do that. They were up, I think, 10-3. They were tied 13-13. And then they never scored again. They pulled the Titans. This team is just absolutely pathetic. This is my team. I love the Titans. I hate this team. It is horrible. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the guy who was the Jets fan. He's like, I hate this team. I love the Jets, but I hate this team. That is me with the Titans. They're disgusting. I'm still not out on Cam Ward yet because he is playing with the absolute worst team besides maybe the Jets in the NFL. Just pathetic incompetence all over the place. Just bad players. It's not good. And the Patriots look legit. So big cover there. Then we have, speaking of ugly games, the Panthers. Bryce Young got banged up in the game. The Jets simply cannot score. Justin Fields can't even throw for 50 passing yards. It's horrible. Speaking of Dynasty, I started him in Dynasty 2 weeks in a row. He got benched in this game. It's bad. They're gonna have to do something because Justin Fields is completely terrible. He cannot throw the ball. If you know he's gonna run, which is every possession, he can't do anything. So the Panthers though 4-3. I'm going to be way off on this prediction. I think I had them winning 4 games the whole season for my prediction. So we're going to be way off. We do need to check in after like the halfway point. So maybe in like a week or something like that, 2 weeks, check in on our NFL predictions, see how we're doing for the season. Then the Raiders. Oh man, the week of picking Big underdogs, you know, bad teams. Didn't go that well for me, to be honest. The Titans missed. The Saints missed. The Raiders missed. If you just picked a bunch of favorites this week, you did pretty good. I guess the Bengals did hit. 0 points. I think they had under 100 yards. I know it's at the Chiefs, but Gino, come on, man. My boy. I mean, what else do I need to say? Chiefs look, I mean, they just dominated this game. So there you go. Chiefs are back. Speaking of Dolphins, Browns, I didn't quite realize the weather was going to be so weird in this game. And I didn't realize, I'm not going to lie, I did not realize the Dolphins had the 30-second rush defense. So once I realized that, after making this pick, I was like, this might be ugly. This is probably not good. So 31-6. Yeah, Judkins is a pretty good running back. So if you can't stop the run, he's going to score 3 touchdowns. Eagles, Vikings, Eagles. Oh my gosh, they made me sweat this whole game. The Eagles are so frustrating. They're such a frustrating team. They're so good. They have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith. They have Saquon Barkley. They have Jalen Hurts. They have so many guys that are just stud football players. And yet they are always allowing teams to backdoor cover, blow leads, and not even win the game. Like, this was so, oh my goodness. They did end up covering, but it shouldn't have even been that close. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, the Vikings are about to come back and cover. Luckily, they didn't. Okay, so Eagles win again. I think I'm still like 5-2 on the Eagles, so I'm going to keep picking them. The Colts, man, they look good. They look so good. Their defense, still giving up a lot of points, but when you score 38, you're probably fine. And they're just easily scoring 38. There's no resistance. This team is awesome. 6-1. Yeah, I don't think the Titans are winning the division this year. Giants, Broncos, this one, oh my goodness, the game of the year, people are saying. I mean, I wasn't even watching this game because it was a blowout the whole time. The whole first 3 quarters, it was like a really low scoring game at first, and then the Giants end up going ahead by like 3 scores. I think the score was 18-0 or something like that, and then it was 25-8. It's like, okay, yeah, this game is 26-8, whatever it was. This game's over. And then all of a sudden I look over, okay, 26-15 or whatever it was, 16. I can't remember the exact score. All right. Oh, they just cut it to 3 with a few minutes left. Oh, wow. Look back. Oh, they have the ball. Had to switch that one on immediately because I was watching this game the whole time, which was horrible because I have Jaden Daniels, Mr. Glass on my fantasy team. So I was trying to see a bunch of points being scored. I realized I was missing a great game, so I switched this thing. I mean, I had it on the side, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I finally put this one on the main screen, and man, that was a fun game. Felt like the Giants were going to take it back at the end with all those, penalty calls, but then the Denver just went down and kicked a field. I mean, the missed extra point. Oh man, that could have been an awesome overtime. Though they still need to fix overtime. It's too short. 10 minutes is not long enough. Come on, NFL, change that. Okay, Packers, Cardinals. This was another interesting one. I took the Cardinals, apparently, the underdogs. I did hit some of them. I'm honestly shocked I picked the Cardinals. This was an anti-Packers pick because the Packers have been just good enough to be 4-1-1, but they could have lost the Dallas game they tied. They could have lost multiple other games. They were like just barely good enough to win the game. They feel a little fraudulent at 4-1-1 because originally the first couple games like, oh, the Packers best team in the NFL. They're definitely not. They're still talented. They have good players. I still don't like Jordan Love. Not my favorite quarterback. Just not that impressive when I watch him. I mean, he's better than a lot of guys out there because we got some bad quarterbacks, but he is still not my favorite. Cardinals doing their thing. Jacoby Brissett, baby. It was him this week, right? Kyler was out. Yeah, I didn't even watch that game. I didn't even watch it. 49ers and Falcons. Now this one I watched every painful second of this game. Woo! Our Falcons pick is not looking good. They're 3-3 now. I mean, the 49ers did cover, which was good. That was good for the picks, but man, watching the Falcons is tough on the road, man. They just cannot do it. Penix looked awful. Speaking of another dynasty quarterback I got. Absolutely terrible. Oh, I'm getting updates from. I still get those on this. Oh yeah, because we're on the Twitch channel. Okay, someone just subscribed on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, you can do that. But you do need to subscribe to this channel right now on Ruxin Sports. Hit that button because there's going to be more sports updates. Okay, keep going. Oh, sadly, my boy Baker. They did have a couple chances at the end to score, but the Lions kind of dominated them. They stopped them from doing anything on offense. They just could not get in the end zone. Watched most of this game, and the Lions were pretty impressive. Offensively, Gibbs looked great. Unfortunately, playing him in fantasy, of course, and then against him. And then Tampa, yeah, the weapons missing. Mike Evans out for the season. Such a sad way for his 1,000-yard streak to end. And just in general, just Mike Evans is a great guy to watch. He's so much fun. So That was sad. I felt really sad about this game. Definitely should have picked the Lions, I think, at home. I don't know. I don't know if I should have. Tampa's just they've been proving themselves, so I don't feel bad about the pick. Then we have our final game, which is Seattle and the Texans. Seattle beat the Texans by 8. This honestly felt like a 40-point game, even though Seattle had all those turnovers. They had 4 turnovers to 1, I think, was the final turnover margin, and they still won by 8, and it could have been by 15. Texans offense is, oh my goodness, Nico Collins went out, but watching them, that might have been the most painful game. I actually had to turn it off. It was like 4 minutes left. I'm like, they're down 2 scores. I can't watch the Texans anymore. It was like so many chances because they kept turning it over and be like, oh, the Texans got the ball. Good job, defense. How about we just throw 4 deep routes over and over? Like they were just chunking it downfield. Like, all right, go, go, go. I'm going to throw it deep. And then you just overthrow them over and over. I'm like, can you throw a short pass, run the ball, do something? It's like, no, just deep route. Go. And then you just overthrow them every time. It was unreal. It was so hard to watch. They're bad. They're really bad. 2-4. Their offense is terrible. The defense is not bad. The defense is okay. And Seattle's good. I think Seattle's legitimately good. 5-2. I mean, they did have 4 turnovers that like easily could have lost the game. But even then, still scored 27 points. So, pretty good team. Let's go to the next week. Man, that was a weird week. Chargers at home against the Vikings. The Chargers have really fallen off. That no offensive line thing is pretty rough. Even though the offense was still pretty decent, but the defense just got absolutely eviscerated. I mean, the Vikings, seriously, are we going to pick the Vikings with Carson Wentz or JJ McCarthy? I'm going to take the Chargers. I really don't love the Vikings. They're not bad. They're 3-3, but it feels like they're kind of a middle tier team, and the Chargers are an injured top tier team. So if the Chargers are going to, do anything in their division this year, you got to beat the Vikings. So at home, especially, I'm going to go with them. Then we have our team, the Falcons, at home. Let's go Falcons. The Dolphins, I don't think, fired anybody this week, so I think they still got their whole thing going on. By the way, remember what I said about the Dolphins? 30-second run defense? Bijan Robinson. I think I'm going to take him. I think I'm going to take Bijan Robinson. That dude can run up the middle pretty well, outside, around people. Dude is the shiftiest guy. He is one of the most fun players to watch. I love Baker, quarterback. At running back, the dude is amazing. He is a magician. He's like, Saquon Barkley's fun too, but this dude, his cuts are almost unbelievable. Like, you're like, whoa, that can't be a real person doing that. That's insane. So yeah, I love watching Bijan Robinson. Dude is absolutely amazing. I'm going with them. 7.5's a lot. The Dolphins stink. And the Falcons, you could say stink, but at home, they're much better. So I like the Falcons beating the Dolphins here by 10, 14 points, something like that. Jets and Bengals. The Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Wow, the Jets are that bad, huh? 6.5. This team was scoring like 12 points a game before last week. Wow, the Jets are terrible. I can't in good conscience pick the Jets. Have we picked all big favorites so far? Oh, that doesn't feel good. Hopefully Joe Flacco doesn't just turn back into a terrible Joe Flacco version. But against the Jets, you should be okay. You've got Jamar Chase is heating up. T. Higgins is heating up. The Jets are, Justin Fields, until they bench him, I'm not picking them. I'm just not. He's horrible. Browns, Patriots. Now, this is an interesting one. I think the Browns are pretty competitive. This is in New England. But the Browns are not that bad. The quarterback situation, not great. They can run the ball. They've got a defense. They could keep it close. Now, do I want to bet on, what's his name? Lefty from Oregon, the quarterback. Do I want to bet on him in Foxborough? I don't think so. I can't even remember his name, but I don't want to pick 7.5. Honestly, they got to let down at some point, don't they? They're absolutely rolling right now. They got to let down at some point. I'm going to go with the Browns. I think the Browns have been playing pretty well. They're definitely not a 7.5. They're 2-5, but they're much better than a lot of those two-win teams, in my opinion. Now, that was at home last week against the terrible Dolphins, but lose by a touchdown. Come on, Browns. Eagles, Giants, 7.5. The Eagles lost to this Giants team by 17 just a couple weeks ago. So they're definitely going to want revenge here. This is in Philadelphia. The Eagles fans are going to be going nuts. They're going to go crazy. They're going to be booing dart, booing scataboo. This team should have just beaten the Broncos, though, by margin. They should have beaten them by a lot, and then they just fell apart towards the end. Is that going to affect a rookie quarterback? Is that going to be in his head that he blew a huge game, or is he going to come out and be really good because he blew a huge game? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Jackson Dart doesn't seem like the guy he just seems a little bit like a maniac, so maybe it might not bother him, or maybe it's going to be in his head all week and he's going to be terrible. The Eagles, as I've said, they just love the backdoor cover. I mean, 7.5 is a lot of points. And I don't really like picking the Eagles to cover by a large amount of points. They always win by 3, 6, 2, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I could see them being like, we're going to destroy this team because they beat us and we're going to win by 40 points. But knowing Jalen Hurts, he's going to have 0 completions in the second half. Okay, Buffalo Bills at the Panthers. They're 7.5 point favorites. Now, I think Bryce Young might be out. I think it's probably going to be Andy Dalton, which Bryce Young has been playing pretty good. I would feel a lot better if Bryce Young was playing, which is weird to say because the dude was terrible for a year and a half. But he's been playing okay. The Panthers now have 2 pretty good running backs. Rico Dowdle's running all over the place. Chuba's back. The team is not bad. They've won 4 in a row. Now, they haven't beaten a great team. They beat the Falcons. The Bills, with this defense, by 7.5 on the road, I like the Bills, but I don't like them that much. Let's take the Panthers at home to cover. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but what we saw a couple weeks ago from the Bills was definitely shaky. Josh Allen was looking more like turnover Allen for a while. So we're going to see if he kind of remedied that on the bye week. And here we go. Bears, Ravens. Ravens need to win 6.5. They have 1 win and they're 6.5 point favorites over a 4-win team. Actually insane if you think about it. Lamar, I believe, is back. I don't like the Bears at all. They have 4 wins and I feel like they should have 2. But 6.5 is so much with that defense. It's just Swiss cheese, essentially. And the Bears have been putting up 20-something points every game. The Ravens would need to score in the 30s. It's a kitchen sink game, though. You go 1-6, you're done. I mean, you're not going to make the playoffs at 1-6. You'd have to basically win out. You'd have to go 10-6, maybe 9-7. You could maybe go 8-1 along the way, 8-1, 9-0 if you lose this. And this Ravens team is just not going to do that with that defense. So you have to win this game. No one's picking the Ravens in this, which is actually interesting. Huh. You know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with the Ravens, the 1-win team. I'm going to go against the public, which makes me feel even better, 28%. Let's see Lamar and Derrick Henry have a real vintage Lamar and Derrick Henry game, just run for 200 yards. 49ers and Texans. Texans are only 1.5. Oh, they're underdogs. That makes sense because they're awful. San Francisco, I mean, they were pretty hard to watch offensively this week as well. 13 points until the very end. They got to the 20 mark. The Texans, they had to have 28 possessions to get to 19 points. This honestly could be like a 13-6, type of game. 13-7. Nico's probably out with a concussion, so the Texans are even worse. Yeah, this is a rough one. Everyone's picking the Niners. Texans are 2-4 though. This is a spot where they kind of need to win, but after what I watch, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. McCaffrey's playing great right now, too. George Kittle's back. The 49ers are actually getting healthy. The team is just much better than the Texans. Now, they do have to go to the Texans at 12 o'clock, so a little bit of a weird travel thing. And then the Texans are a 2-win team that needs to win, but I'm going to go 49ers. That just feels much more likely. Tampa Bay is a 5.5 point favorite in New Orleans. Wow, that's a big favorite. And Tampa Bay is banged up. I think Bucky Irving's out again this week. Mike Evans is out. They've got this wide receiver. Like, they have so many good wide receivers that you think you never hear about another one but they're all hurt. So they've got this guy going off like Tez Johnson or whatever. He's playing great. And he's like their 6th receiver on the depth chart to begin the year. 7th receiver. I don't know what he is. Oh, I hate picking the Saints. I love picking the Bucks. I should just pick the Bucks, but this is basically a 7-8 point spread because of the home field advantage. If you think about it, they're saying they're 7 or 8 points better than the Saints. The problem with the Saints is they're not that bad, but they're just bad enough where you don't want to pick them. They're okay. They've won 1 game, but they've been super competitive for a 1-win team. They've been competitive. Wow, this is tough. The Bucks are really banged up, but I just can't pick the Saints again. 7.5 at home. I'm going to go with the Bucks. I just like the Bucks. Okay. Cowboys at the Broncos, 3.5. This is going to be a fun game because the Cowboys can really score. Problem is they can't stop anybody. And the problem with picking the Broncos is they have Bo Nix, who is completely unpredictable. For 3 quarters, he's horrible. Then he scores 4 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, which was kind of crazy. A 40-point fantasy game. I just, what do you do? Dallas, they have CeeDee Lamb back. George Pickens is going off. On the road, I don't see them beating the Broncos. The Broncos are a pretty awesome team. I mean, unless Bo Nix is completely horrible, which I don't feel like the Dallas defense is going to make him bad. If it was against a good defense, I'd feel better. I'm going to go Broncos. Colts, 14.5 against my Titans. We're so bad. We're getting a 14.5 point spread. And honestly, that's not even enough. It's not even enough. Because if the Colts score 35, we're not going to score 21. We're not going to score 21. Maybe we could backdoor cover if it's a 3-score game. We score at the end and make it a 14-point game or whatever. Oh, the Titans are so bad. 14.5 point spread. I could honestly see this being like, the thing is their defense is pretty bad, so maybe we can finally score some points, but I can't pick. I'm not picking the Titans anymore. It just hurts me too much. Packers and Steelers. Packers are favored in Pittsburgh. 3.5 in Pittsburgh. They might win the game by 3. Might kick a field goal to win. I'm not taking them over the Steelers at home. Steelers have looked pretty good. They've looked pretty good. They lost to the Bengals last week, but they scored 30-something points. The Packers are definitely iffy, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of them. They're on the road 3.5. Are they 6 points better than the Steelers? 5 points better? No, I don't think so. I don't think they are. The Steelers are 4-2. This would be a big win for the Steelers as well to keep pace over the Bengals, the Ravens, all those teams that are maybe going to win this week. Then we have the final game. Sadly, Jaden Daniels is out, so this Monday night game is going to be pretty boring. Kansas City versus the Commanders, 10.5. They just beat the Raiders by 31. Mariota, honestly, is not that bad. Like, for a backup, he can, like, do some stuff. He can run. He can, throw it a little bit. They're still kind of banged up, though. Terry McLaurin hadn't played the entire year. It sucks if you dropped him in fantasy. He has not played, so that's a little rough. The Bill McCroskey merit kind of sucks. The Chiefs are on an absolute roll right now. Could they win this game by 11, 12, 13 points? I could see that. Could Mariota come in and be decent? Look, I remember a time when Mariota, he went in and beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I remember that back in the Titans' heyday. So maybe that could happen again. Will it happen? Probably not. Probably not. I think the Raiders are so incompetent, though. Like, I honestly want to pick the Commanders. I think nobody's going to be picking them because of the backup quarterback situation. The Chiefs are kind of hot. This is kind of a game you don't really get up for as a Kansas City Chief. You're like, Commanders with backup quarterback, like, whatever. Let's just get the win. So I could see this being a 7-point win or a 3-point win or something like that. I don't think they're going to be, a 10-point win even covers. So I feel pretty decent about that. Let's just guess a random number. Let's go 47 points, not 74. Okay. That's my picks for the week. Let's see how you guys did. If you guys have not joined the group, which is called Ruxin Sports Pick'em, make sure you guys join them. You guys can make your picks just like me, and we can compare with how you did. I got 90 points, which is 9-7. I actually thought I went 8-8. I'll take that. I am 2 games over 500 for this one. Some of you guys killed it. Yeah, because if you picked favorites, you did pretty good this week. Cami G went 110 points. Congrats. ESPN fan 110. Jay Zushi went 110. Don Hector went 100. Adams went 100. Migusta 100. Then Red Wing Grappling Hero. A bunch of you guys tied with me at 90. Atlanta fan. Bounce back a little bit. Where are you? Yeah, you had 90 after getting 40 last week. That's good. Rothgar, the worst week at 60 with Beltron and Megatron. But look, just bounce back, man. You're going to have a bad week. Just bounce back next week, get 110 points and rebound, cancel it out. So if you guys have not joined this yet, is that bears down? If you guys haven't joined this yet, you guys need to get in on this group. I'll have it linked in the description in the comments as well. So you guys can get in here and join us, and I'll mention you if you did well, or if you did terribly, you're going to get mentioned. So yeah, I've been consistently, look at this, 90, 70, 70, 90, just like middle of the road. Just picking a middle of the road stuff. Wait, 90. Wait, how many games were there last week? 1, 2. Wait, no, I got to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, I went 9-6. I didn't realize I kind of went off. So some of you guys went 11-4. That's a really good record. Congrats, guys. You guys are doing well. Because I knew there was a bye. I was like, the Bills didn't play. Okay, so there's a lot of buys this week. The Lions are out. That's a lot of good fantasy players, and a lot of the Rams, just a ton of good fantasy guys out this week. So if you guys are enjoying Ruxin Sports, make sure you subscribe. We will be doing this weekly. If you want to see more NBA content, let me know what you want to see, and we'll pull that out in the future. It's been a lot of fun, and I will see you guys next week. Good luck on your picks. Peace.